Hi Satu, hi future nurses. My name is Jennifer and I'm a friend of Satu's, and she asked me to be there in person. Unfortunately I have to work, so I'm sending a quick video to tell you guys a little bit about what happened to me earlier this year. So first of all, I'll start off by telling you I'm 46 years old. I have 3 kids, 15, 13, and 9. I'm a single mom, and I've been divorced since 2008, so I've been single since 2008. And on February 15th of 2016 this year, I was diagnosed with HIV. 10 days later, I was diagnosed with pneumonia and AIDS. This was all an incredible shock to me. So since that time, I've gotten better, thank God. But what I want you to know is my story and what happened and why this, really shouldn't have happened the way it did. But because I got so sick, I feel very passionate about talking about it. So basically, by doing some research, I found out who I got this from. I got it back in 2013 from a boyfriend that we'd been together for about 8 months. He didn't know he had it at the time, and he had some high-risk behavior. I did not, so this came into my life via somebody who had high-risk behavior. He was tested about 3 months after we split, and because he had been getting sick, and he didn't contact me to tell me that he was positive. He left my information, my name and number with the clinic that he went to. It wasn't local, it was in Sacramento, and they were supposed to contact me. So those were the first words to me when I spoke to him, when I finally started to figure out the puzzle. He said, they didn't call you, and so for 2.5 years I've been walking around with HIV and didn't know it. And so no, they didn't call me. We don't know why. We've looked into it. Santa Cruz County has actually looked into it, and we can't get any answers. So unfortunately, partner notification failed me 100%. So during the last 2.5 years, I've had some very obvious symptoms to me that when you see them on a list, you'd go, HIV for sure. But I didn't know it. HIV wasn't in my world. It wasn't in my head. I didn't know to even be looking for this. But I did have a swollen lymph gland. I went to an ear, nose, and throat doctor for that. Basically, they just said that, if it goes away, don't worry about it. I had thrush in my mouth, but I had been taking antibiotics, so they weren't worried about that. They thought that was probably what it was from. I had incurable yeast infections that were the most itchy, incredibly painful thing I've ever been through. I was rubbing myself raw. I was bleeding. I'd have to get into the bathroom to try to calm the itch. It was nothing I'd ever dealt with before, and I've had yeast infections before. This was beyond painful and itchy. I also had cluster headaches, and finally, 3 weeks before I was finally diagnosed, I started to come down with achy flu-like symptoms, and I went into doctors on duty a couple times they had a lot of these visits through the 2.5 years, but finally went in for this. They finally did some blood work, not an HIV test, but some blood work, and things were off. So red blood cells, white blood cells, things were off. So they sent me to an internal medicine doctor who did the HIV test, came up positive. And so a week later, I end up with pneumonia. Something's wrong. I've got a cough. I'm not breathing well. I'm going up my stairs and collapsing on my bed. There's something off. So I go to Dominican. This is the day I went to Dominican Hospital. They did a chest x-ray. It's positive. The next day I had my appointment with an HIV doctor, and it was confirmed that day that my T cells were under 200. They were at 85, and I had AIDS. And this was the biggest shock of my life. This is a very condensed video, just trying to give you all the information, but this was incredibly shocking for my entire family, myself. I didn't know what this all meant, and it was terrifying. So this is me, pretty sick here. I'd lost quite a bit of weight, over 20 pounds. I'm already a tall, thin person, so this was, I look like a very old lady here, but I was very sick, wanting to spend lots of time in the bath just to feel better. This was me about 4 days into having PCP pneumonia, it looks like is what I had. We didn't have the right medication for it at the time. I had to wait I probably ran with this infection for about 5 or 6 days before I had Meprin. And it was an insurance issue, and we finally got it. Once I started taking it, I felt a lot better. But here's more, just sick, so sick, feeling like I'm gonna die. Basically go to sleep at night, don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna wake up in the morning, incredibly ill. So ill that is why I'm speaking about this now, because I shouldn't have had to go through this. I did go through it. I got my Meprin. I'm better. I'm taking my HIV medication. I feel nothing now. My viral load is down to 21. I'm not undetectable yet. I'm so close, but I'm down to 21. I feel amazing. HIV is not affecting my life in any way at all. I can't make that clear enough that this is not scary. It's okay. Like, I want people to know that HIV is not this scary, horrible thing. There's medication now that is amazing. I wish I had tested. I wish I had known, but if I had known, I don't think I would have been public about this. So I'm glad that I got as sick as I did, because I want people to know that they can still have a great life. My life is so full. I have, I skateboard, I surf. I'm so happy. It's amazing to be in the ocean every day if I want to be. I have a long life expectancy. Everything's going to be the same and it's going to be okay. I got a phone call for work right in the middle of all that. So anyways, I just want to just really emphasize that this all happened because I don't look like a high-risk person. I really don't, and nobody picked up on the fact that maybe I should have tested. I didn't test because I didn't think I was a high-risk person, even though I'd been with somebody who was high-risk, but they were so certain they didn't have it. I just feel like everybody should test. Pay attention to all the signs that are out there when people come in for these different things. It could be HIV. It could. I've been in contact with 2 women, only 2. I put a video out on on YouTube that's getting a lot of attention, and I've only come across 2 women that are willing to come and talk to me and tell me about their experience, and they're just like me. They had the same thing happen. They got very sick, and they didn't know they had it, and it's a very I feel very alone in some ways, but in some ways I don't, because I feel like, you know, I've got a lot of support, such amazing support. My life has not changed. I still work. Everything's amazing. So I don't want this to go on forever, but thank you for listening to my story. And again, if you want to see more of it, or the longer version, it's a little long. I have a few videos on YouTube that I recently put up. So it's all under my HIV/AIDS story. I know if you just look up my name, Jennifer Vaughn, for some reason a bunch of videos about strippers come up. That's not me. And so it's my HIV/AIDS story, and you should be able to find it on YouTube with no problem. So anyways, thanks for listening. Watch all of those little signs. Just be aware of them, because it could be something much more than you thought. Okay, bye guys.